Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for March 24, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, the situation in Ukraine continues to escalate, with Russia launching a massive drone and missile barrage on civilian areas, resulting in loss of life and widespread damage. The international community has condemned the attack, and we urge all parties involved to prioritize diplomacy and work towards a peaceful resolution. In another development, former Florida Congressman David Rivera is on trial for secretly lobbying for the Venezuelan government during the first Trump administration. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is expected to testify in federal court tomorrow, marking a significant moment in this high-profile case. We're also following the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, where tensions remain high. The international community must come together to prevent further escalation and find a diplomatic solution to this crisis. As we continue to monitor these developing stories, we'll provide you with updates and analysis as more information becomes available. It's essential to remember that everyone is entitled to a fair trial, and we must wait for the evidence to be presented before drawing any conclusions. And as always, our thoughts are with those affected by these conflicts, and we hope for a swift and peaceful resolution. And to our listeners, that is the summary of the articles. But before I go, let me add, and that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and Nanshal and know it's right now. Firstly, in a welcome turn of events, American citizen Dennis Coyle has been released by the Taliban after being held captive in Afghanistan. The release was facilitated by the United Arab Emirates and comes after Coyle's family requested his freedom on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr. However, the circumstances surrounding his detention remain unclear, with the Taliban citing violations of applicable laws in Afghanistan. In other news, tensions continue to rise in Eastern Europe and Russia. An explosion in an apartment building in Sevastopol, Crimea, has resulted in at least one death and several injuries, with Russian authorities launching a criminal investigation into the cause. The Belgorod region is also experiencing heightened tensions due to drone strikes and military activities, prompting discussions on protecting civilians. Additionally, we're monitoring developments related to Iranian missiles damaging Tel Aviv amid reported peace talks, a college student shot and killed while walking with friends, and a plane traveling at 120 mph at the time of a ground collision at LaGuardia Airport. These stories highlight the complex and often volatile nature of global events. As we continue to follow these stories, it's essential to approach them with sensitivity and understanding of the intricate geopolitical landscapes involved. We will provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we looked at the global energy crisis sparked by the Iran war, which has led to skyrocketing oil prices and prompted countries like China, Japan, and South Korea to take measures to mitigate its impact. From dialing back on fuel price hikes to encouraging work-from-home arrangements, governments are getting creative in their efforts to conserve fuel and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. In another story, we explored the exciting development of tokenized stocks and ETFs on a blockchain, courtesy of a partnership between the New York Stock Exchange and Securitize. This innovation promises to increase efficiency, reduce costs, and enhance transparency in trading, making it easier for investors to access a wider range of opportunities. Lastly, we touched on the impact of the global energy crisis on various countries, including the Philippines, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and Vietnam, which are all taking steps to cushion the blow of soaring energy prices. As the first always say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. While new technologies and crises emerge, the fundamental principles of investing and adaptability remain unchanged. So, don't panic, dear listeners. The future is looking brighter than ever, and we're thrilled to be your guide on this journey into the unknown. Good night, and good investing. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's Artemis program is making strides towards returning humans to the lunar surface by 2024. Our recent article highlighted the progress being made in spacecraft development, with both the Space Launch System rocket and the Orion capsule undergoing critical testing. As we look to the future of space travel, it's exciting to consider the possibilities that this mission could bring. Secondly, SpaceX has proposed a massive mega-constellation of satellites, aiming to provide global internet coverage and support various digital services. However, astronomers are warning about the potential impacts on ground-based astronomy research, citing concerns over satellite streaks, glare, and orbital debris. The FCC is currently reviewing SpaceX's application, and we'll be keeping a close eye on this story as it unfolds. Lastly, Germany has announced plans for a $10 billion military satellite network independent of the EU's parallel IRIS-2 project. This move has sparked concerns among EU lawmakers about potential duplication, fragmentation, and increased costs. As Europe works to establish a robust defense system, it's crucial that national initiatives like Germany's align with EU frameworks and avoid inefficiencies. These stories represent just a few of the many exciting and complex developments happening in our world today. We'll continue to follow them closely and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We began by examining the dynamic nature of sport, where predictions are constantly being made, but outcomes are never certain until the final whistle blows. The New Mexico Lobos' impressive postseason run in the NIT quarterfinals against the St. Joseph's Hawks showcased remarkable talent and determination from both teams. The matchup between these two squads promises to be an electrifying encounter, with standout performers like Jake Hall and Derek Simpson set to make their mark. In addition, we shone the spotlight on the University of Connecticut Huskies' outstanding performance in the NCAA tournament, where they demonstrated exceptional depth, teamwork, and cohesion on the court. Azzi Fudd's career-high display stole the show, leaving spectators in awe of her shooting skills. The team's ability to share the ball effectively and tally an impressive total of assists underscores their synergy and cohesion. As we move forward in the NCAA tournament, it will be fascinating to see how UConn builds upon this momentum in their pursuit of a second consecutive national title. With each sport having its unique challenges and triumphs that captivate audiences worldwide, one thing is certain: only time will tell which teams will emerge victorious. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Corral.
Thank you, Howard. I'm Charles. Firstly, we took you on a journey to a picturesque town in rural America where community, tradition, and natural beauty come alive. We met talented craftswomen like Jane, who preserves traditional crafts, and farmers like John, who dedicate their lives to working with the land. Their stories remind us of the wisdom found in ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Secondly, we visited a small town nestled in the heart of rural America, where local customs and traditions are woven into everyday life. We saw how neighbors gather to share stories, celebrate simple pleasures, and discuss the importance of preserving small-town America. It's a testament to the power of community and the human spirit. Lastly, we followed a developing story on former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro being granted a visa to stay in the United States, despite facing investigations back home. We also touched on a fascinating medical discovery about Neanderthals potentially creating an antibacterial ointment through their tool-making processes. These stories showcase the diversity and complexity of our world, from the beauty of rural America to the intricacies of international diplomacy and the wonders of ancient civilizations. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Let's dive into a quick recap of our recent stories. We started with a look back at the cultural phenomenon that is Disney's Hannah Montana. As we explored the show's history and themes, it's clear that its impact on popular culture remains significant to this day. Next, we dove into the world of live-action remakes with the latest trailer for Moana. Let's just say that Dwayne Johnson's wig has stolen the show for all the wrong reasons. Can we talk? It's a Pretty Woman-esque disaster. Despite some concerns about the film, the soundtrack, featuring songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda and others, might just be a highlight. Finally, we covered the BAFTA TV Awards nominations, where Amy Lou Wood and Erin Doherty are leading the pack with 2 nods each. The dark comedy Adolescence is dominating the nominations with 9 impressive nods, including Best Limited Drama and 5 acting nominations. We're excited to see how the awards play out on May 10th at London's South Bank Centre. Thanks for joining me on the AI Daily Press. Good night. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the alarming decline of migratory birds due to climate change, highlighting the urgent need for conservation efforts to protect these species. Secondly, we reported on the remarkable progress made in conserving mountain gorillas, with their population surpassing 1,000 thanks to dedicated conservation work. The recent birth of rare twins in the Virunga Massif is a testament to the success of these efforts. Lastly, we delved into the Vatican's new guidelines on xenotransplantation, marking a significant step forward in the Catholic Church's stance on organ transplants from animals to humans. This development has the potential to save lives and improve human health while emphasizing responsible treatment of animals. These stories underscore the importance of conservation, medical innovation, and ethical considerations in shaping our world. We'll continue to follow these topics and bring you updates as more information becomes available. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.